Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to New Right Network's original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, bringing you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news. Today, it's got a bunch of breaking news today. We've got to talk about Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania and the things that he said. Just absolutely amazing. Folks, pinch yourself and get ready. This is 2020. Donald Trump's hitting the ground running. We've got to be on top of this ourselves. You and I both have to get the news out and continue to rally around each other, support each other with real news and connect to one another and continue to bring up good, positive thoughts, things that we can talk about, the things that Donald Trump and his administration are doing in order to continue this movement of Make America Great Again, keeping America great. And we say this all the time, 2020 is going to be here, 2024 is going to be here, and once that's done, we've only got 6 years left, folks, 5.5 years left to absolutely cement our place in history as the MAGA movement and then the Keep America Great Again movement. This is new media, folks. Again, Brian Smith, your host. Jump over to SmythTV, become a Patreon, help new news media to continue to keep America great. And just real quick, got a lot of new people on the show. Thank you so much for the share, for the like, and for crushing it. For those of you who are new, this is how the show works. Down in the link below that says full show notes, click on that. That'll take you over to the 3 pages of show notes to where we highlight all the different patriots on Twitter, tweeting out real news. And I bring that all to you, as well as links to different articles and also links back to New Right Network. Some great writers and great articles over there, as well as Wayne Dupree, who comes on after my show at 8 o'clock from 8 to 9, the Wayne Dupree Show. And then you've got me over there, too. So that's a better reason to go over to newrightnetwork.com. I'm over there, man. Come on. All right. And if you have the Telegram app, it's an app where we can all stay in touch with each other. If you have the app, I can add you to our private group where you'll receive the links to the show notes. You'll receive the links to Facebook, Twitter, as well as the live Periscope link so that you can always stay in touch. And big tech can't keep you from watching real news. So we've got to continue to combat this. And that's how we're doing it, by moving to a third platform, if you will, in order to keep us connected in real time. All right. So we're talking about the Trump rally today in Pennsylvania. Breaking news, y'all. Spygate falling apart. Everybody blaming each other. Oh my goodness. Comey blaming Brennan. Brennan blaming Comey. Clapper blaming all of them. Now, we got transcripts released. Oh, no, you didn't. Attorney General Lynch under oath. Come to find out who she's blaming. And all morning this morning, impeachment inquiry now. Matter of fact, it's even still, I think it might even still be trending now. How ridiculous. Their impeachment inquiry now because Donald Trump told McGahn, nah, man, don't testify. There's no reason for that. Think about it. There is no reason for that. No obstruction. No collusion. Come on, man. But we'll get into why they're still going with the collusion and the obstruction and it's just a nonsense. And there's a reason for it. They've got nothing left, and they've got to continue to gaslight their people in order to raise a minimal amount of money. We talked about that yesterday. The Republicans raising almost 3 times as much as the Democrats in the past few months. Just everybody. Fake news CNN. She was shocked and beside herself. How's that possible? What kind of magic sauce do you have, Ronna McDaniel? What's your magic recipe, your sauce? It's like, there ain't no magic sauce. It's Trump. It's the economy. That's what they always say. It's the economy, stupid. Everybody's down for the economy, and we're not down with socialism. Any normal thinking, average, everyday Joe in America knows that socialism doesn't work. And we all know that that's where the Democrats are headed. And it's all about Trump. Come on, man. It's about the policies. It's about what's actually happening. We believed that the policies that he wanted to put in place in 2016 running for president of the United States, we believe that if he could do at least 1, 2, 3, 4% of what he's talking about, be the greatest politician we've ever found. Holy smoke. Fast forward 2.5 years, promises made, promises kept beyond all our wildest expectations, beyond. And now as we're getting into full gear with election 2020, I've divided it up. I'm going to wind up having the show notes this way almost every time from now on. Instead of pulling out different politicians left and right, I'm going to have election 2020 states by issues of each individual state and what's happening in that day. And then underneath the states issues, I'll put candidate issues, and then I'll post up the individual candidates and their issues they got for the day. And again, folks, this is New Right Network's original series. Your host, Brian Smith with SmythTV. I'm bringing you all the candidates live that are running for 2020. Click the link in the description below, and also click on the names of the individuals. Give them a crush, give them a follow. Look at the real tweets that they're putting out in the real news, as well as the candidates, GOP candidates, as well as DNC candidates as well. If you want to follow DNC, I do it for you guys. I follow DNC and I watch CNN and MSNBC. I do this for you, so you don't have to do it. But I'll tell you what, we're going to do it. This is how I'm going to do the show today. I'm going to get started off on some really important stuff, get into some happy things with Trump and the Trump rally, get back into the nitty gritty with all the crazy nonsense going on. And then we'll wrap it up with some more great clips and some more great information from the Trump rally yesterday. Folks, this is in fifth gear, top gear, guys. We're going all out. Make sure that you're talking to people, getting involved with your local GOP headquarters. Find out where you're at, where they're at. Call them, volunteer, do whatever it takes, because the Democrats are already doing it. Scott Presser set an incredible example, a great friend of ours, good friend of the show, setting a great example of what it takes to do what needs to be done in order to help get Donald Trump reelected again. And it's not hard. He goes above and beyond the call of duty, but it's not hard at all. Matter of fact, they've got some very, very simple apps now that you can actually do calls, robocalls, and you're calling Republicans. You're calling friendly people. You're not calling strangers or people that, hang up the phone on you. So you're calling friendly people, and there's a script, and you just read it right off. No big deal. They need that. They need those people to call. A lot of times you're calling just to check the temperature, see where they're at. You still down with Trump? You still voting Trump? This information gets back to Trump to let him know, the numbers on the voters and where people's hearts and minds are at and where the wallets are at. So just doing a simple little call from an app on your phone, no big deal. They've got it all set up for you. It is cookie cutter now to help candidates and help Trump run, and even local candidates. Folks, you go all the way down to the smallest of small. Donald Trump last night calling out for local judges, calling out other local candidates in Kentucky. That's where it's at. We've really got to focus on the game ground as well. I'm on the west side of Cincinnati. Me and my family, my friends, we're all involved. I know the folks that run the GOP here locally, all Donald Trump fans. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with my local representative and some other folks on a conference call. All the way to the top, they're saying that GOP is united in the state of Ohio, unlike 2015, 2016, where they were all out to get Trump. Trump actually had a little hand in on that, throwing some rhino Republicans under the bus. And then we saw the patheticness of John Kasich. Now that he's gone, I'm telling you, Ohio is united more so than it has been in the past, but we're continuing to push forward. You got to get involved in your state. It's not hard and it doesn't take much time. So I encourage you to do that. So let's get some official business out of the way real quick. And this is from our good friend at Code of Vet, Gretchen Smith. Florida couple left vet 82 suicidal after emptying his bank account. Folks, we've got to step in and help out. This is a great place to help out. I give her 5 stars out of 5 on what they do, their organization, and helping other veterans. And if you know, I'm a United States Air Force veteran, 93 to 97, Aviano, Italy, as well as Gretchen is a veteran herself, I believe out of Ramstein, Germany during the 90s. So we've got to stick together and help out our veterans. So check this out.
Hey, it's Gretchen with Code of Vets. I wanted to get on this evening because we have an 82-year-old fragile veteran that we are assisting. We have partnered with the DeLand Police Department. As you know, it has exploded all over social media about a Florida couple who left a veteran, 82, suicidal after emptying his bank account. It's absolutely a horrific story. This veteran has lost everything. He has asked to remain anonymous, so we are going to honor that request. We're actually in contact with the communications information specialist, Chris Graham, with the DeLand Police Department. We connected with him earlier today, I believe this morning. And we've been communicating off and on all day, Sandy and I. And he went ahead and approved Code of Vets for taking him on as a case financially because this guy has lost everything. Hi, Sean. Yeah, this guy's lost everything. I believe there's 80,000 plus that's gone. It's his life savings gone. He has nothing. He's on a very limited income. He does not even have enough to cover his rent next month. So he is living in a dire situation, looking at homelessness, and he did call the crisis line to let them know he was suicidal. He's a Coast Guard vet. So all my Coasties out there, I'm asking you to step up and donate and support this beautiful brother in arms of yours, and all my other veterans too, and patriots. We got to take care of him. Our elderly population they're incredibly vulnerable to these type of scam artists, and it's on us. The police department, they can't refund the money. This is an active investigation, so I can't even share everything. I don't even know everything. But what we can do is that we can start bringing in donations so that we can start giving it to this veteran so that he can live, so that he can eat, so that he can pay his utilities, his rent, and try to regain some of what he lost. So let's get this message out there.
Folks, just like she's saying, a little bit goes a long way. We've got to reach out and we've got to help other veterans and folks like this. My heart breaks for this individual to be swindled out of $80,000. $80,000 is certainly life changing for probably most of America. Folks, if you've got $1, $2, $3, $5, I'll give a few dollars. You give a few dollars, just a couple, a cup of coffee, just a one-time thing. Go over there, click the link in the description below, find Code of Vets, Gretchen Smith, an incredible patriot. She's got a calling to do this, and she is an incredible, a strong woman. And I can't say enough about her. She's a great person too when you get to talk to her. Just a all around great patriot. So jump over there, click the link in the description below, $1, $2, $3, whatever. No big deal. You never miss it. Help out. All right, moving on to some great news that's been going on with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is now making the rounds, folks. The rallies are back. It's more exciting than ever. We know what Donald Trump has done, and we know what he wants to do in the future. And we know that if we give him our votes, that he'll absolutely make it happen. He's got a proven track record. All these Democrats running, they got a proven track record, of failing. So we got that on display today, but this is exciting. Donald Trump just hitting the ground running. And our good friend and patriot at Real TT 2024. I'm ready to do this again. Let's go. Guys, it's that time. It's time to get to the rallies. It's time to watch Trump in the Trump plane land. All the signs waving, people hanging out, having a great time. Man, it feels like just yesterday, 2016, 2015, all the work that we did, all the people that we met, the connections we've made, and still have to this day. It is amazing how Donald Trump has brought such great patriots and Americans from all walks of life together with the likes that we've never seen before. I've got friends that I've never had before. I'm a friend to a lot of people they never knew before. Technology and what we're doing right here, right now, New Right Network, new outlet, providing great content with great writers, real news and real information. In the show, SmythTV, I'm just saying we've got a new platform and the ability to move forward and make America great again. And now we've got the real news out. Donald Trump tweeting at real Donald Trump, landing shortly in Mooresville, Pennsylvania. See everyone shortly. That's the crowd size. It's just waiting for Trump to land. How incredible. A sea of red. Yeah, absolutely. A sea of red. Just incredible, incredible. If you've never been to a rally, man, you got to get out there and get there. Now, granted, I will say this, though. I'm going to say this. At the rally, some of the ones where there's a lot of heat, bring a lot of water, bring bottled water, bring a cart, bring something. Make sure you stay hydrated. There were emergency personnel that were there, and there were some incidents of dehydration. Some of the older folks needing to be taken care of and be carted off. But definitely stay hydrated when you're out and about at the Trump rallies. They are huge and they're fun. They're a blast to go to. Here's another tweet by Donald Trump at real Donald Trump. Massive crowds in Pennsylvania tonight. Thank you for joining me. There's one pic there. Thousands of people. There's a closer up of the aircraft. Thousands of people. And then again, the big pullback. These are the views and the pictures that you're not going to get anywhere. Mainstream media isn't going to show you this. Why would they? This doesn't fit their narrative. What do you mean? Americans coming out and voting for Trump. How's that possible? Yes, promises made, promises kept. Thank you much, Donald Trump. For those of you who missed the rally and want to watch it again, click the link in the description below. Go to Donald Trump's tweet. And this is the full 1 hour and 4 minute Periscope from official Team Trump. Beautiful evening for a Make America Great Again rally tonight in Pennsylvania. Thank you. I love you. Hashtag MAGA. And can't play the sound here, guys. I got in trouble last time. It was the God Bless the USA song, and they got a strike against me. Yeah, I got stricken. I got in trouble. YouTube put a slap on me, and Facebook locked the show out. So I can't play that song, man. I wish I could. It's a beautiful song. But anyways, moving right along. So, hey, folks, remember this? A little bit of flashback for you. Do you remember where the MAGA, hashtag MAGA started? Well, not started, but I mean started in the sense of who on the campaign trail was one of the first people to hashtag MAGA? And my man, General Flynn. I'm telling you guys, MAGA 3, remember that? MAGA 3, take you and 3 people to the polls. Wow, that seems like so long ago, but it's time to do it again. Hashtag MAGA is mainstream, folks. Everybody knows what Make America Great Again means. I thought it kind of funny during the election that people would say, hey, what's that hashtag MAGA thing? I'm like, come on, man. Is that for real? Hashtag MAGA 3, I understand that one. Thank you, our good friend Mike Cernovich, for that. That was just incredible. Now let's get into some of the nitty gritty, some of the tough stuff that we got to get through and the breaking in the news. And then we'll come back. We'll wrap it up with some more of what Donald Trump said at the rally, some more great pictures and some great thoughts about the rally last night. But should have been trending today. It wasn't. Impeach inquiry now was trending. Not Loretta Lynch, not Representative Doug Collins. That wasn't trending, but it should have been. And here's why. Spygate breaking, transcripts released. This on the House floor of Representatives, and our great patriot at Rep. Doug Collins. Today I'm releasing the remaining interview transcripts from at Judiciary GOP's investigation into decisions made at the Department of Justice and FBI. To read the transcripts, visit dougcollins.house.gov/transparency.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thus far, I have released several transcripts and interviews from the Judiciary Committee's investigation into the apparent wrongdoing at the FBI and Justice Department. Today, I am releasing a final collection of those transcripts. The American people deserve transparency. They deserve to know what transpired at the highest levels of the FBI at the origin of the probe of President Trump's campaign. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I request that the link www.dougcollins.house.gov/transparency be placed in the record so the American people can review the transcripts of these interviews. Out of an abundance of caution, these transcripts have a limited number of narrowly tailored redactions relating only to confidential sources and methods, non-public information about ongoing investigation, and non-material personnel information. I have worked to release as many transcripts as possible because the American people deserve the truth. And with that, I yield back.
Doug, coming out swinging. Where you been, man? Representative Doug Collins, Georgia's 9th Congressional District. If you live in Georgia, you got to know Doug Collins, absolutely. And if you got friends that live in the 9th Congressional District, let them know Doug Collins the man. Wow. See, we need more elected representatives like this, like-minded individuals. America first, make America great again, expose the corruption, and get rid of the corrupt officials, overthrow these rhino Republicans, and get rid of these Democrats. Doug Collins, I salute you, man. And our good friend at Megavolt001, hashtag Loretta Lynch, hashtag McCabe, hashtag Spygate. Doug Collins releases Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe's interview transcripts. Folks, this is big. This is real big. The transcripts are now released. People are going through them, sorting them out, reading through them, and lo and behold, finding tidbits of information that I think Obama might not want you to know. This at the Chicago Q. Welp. Breaking, former AG Lynch denied under oath telling Comey to refer to Clinton email probe as a matter. Somebody's lying. Yes, folks, we got a lot of people reading through this transcript. You saw it right there, the questions and answers. And yes, absolutely, somebody's lying. They are attempting to throw each under the bus so as to save their own hide. Watch how this plays out, folks. All these departments working together to let Hillary Clinton off the hook. Remember the tarmac meeting? I'm going to venture to say I think Loretta Lynch might be lying, but we'll find out. We'll find out sooner or later. I think that Loretta Lynch might be lying. She met with Bill Clinton on the tarmac in Phoenix. And then right after that, James Comey said, hey, there ain't no there. So I think somebody's lying, and I definitely think it might be Attorney General Lynch. People go to jail for lying. People go to jail for lying, but she's obviously under oath denied telling Comey. Comey saying that it was all about John Brennan. John Brennan saying that it was all about Comey. And Clapper's confused. He's like, I don't know where to go with this. And at Cat the Hammer 1, Comey, former FBI director, Brennan, former CIA director, Clapper, former NSA director, Lynch, former attorney general, all are doing the Potomac shuffle. He said, she said. They never thought Hillary Clinton would lose, and they're trying to cover their ASS, and it's delicious to watch. I know it's a little bit sinful to take pleasure in others' pain. I understand that, but these people have almost brought America to the breaking point of a coup where they actually won, and the coup would have been successful. But thank God, with the blessings of God and the miracles coming from God, Christ our Savior, that there was an intervention and this has stopped. We've got another opportunity. We've been blessed to have another opportunity to continue to expose this deep state stuff and continue to try and clean up America and get America back on track again. But absolutely, the Potomac shuffle. In English, there's no word for it, but in German, they have a word for it. It's called Schadenfreude, taking pleasure from others' pain. And I think what Cat the Hammer is talking about there is Schadenfreude, a little bit of pleasure felt by others' pain. And this at Political Short, Nick Short. Not one journalist has posed a single question to Barack Obama about what the officials in his White House knew or when they knew it, despite multiple ongoing investigations by the DOJ on Capitol Hill. The more than decade-long media swoon over O continues unabated. This article from American Greatness. Why did Obama allow Comey to brief Trump on the Russia prostitute story? The more than decade-long media swoon for the 44th president, that'd be Barack Obama, continues unabated, but Attorney General William Barr might do the work that the media refuses to do. In an interview with Bill Hemmer on Friday last week, Barr indicated his office is looking into some very strange developments that occurred between the election and Inauguration Day. Yes, folks, there was a lot of strange things going on. They were trying to stop Trump from actually getting to Inauguration Day with an attempt to overthrow a duly elected president. We know this, and now documents are coming out. General Barr just, when you talk about Admiral Rogers going to Donald Trump at the Trump Hotel in New York and telling Trump, say, hey, man, your wires are tapped. You got to bug up out of here. Admiral Rogers, we say, unsung hero of all of this to help save America. Wow. Attorney General Barr just putting the exclamation point on the end of Spygate. Just an incredible man doing what he's supposed to, doing his job, breakneck speed. Exciting to see how this is going to play out in the next couple of months. Promise you folks, months, not years. Jeff Sessions, years, still got nothing. Barr, just a few weeks into it. What was it, March and then May? Now we got it released. Now he's digging in deeper. Very excited about where this is going. And this at our friends at Jellycat. Open your ears and listen. 1958, 10 steps how insiders plan to destroy America. Robert Welch was a self-made wealthy American businessman and founder of John Birch Society. He tried educating people regarding who it was behind the curtains. This also tagged in our friends SERREMMY, Emmy. These are two incredible patriots that you absolutely must follow, folks. And as you can see, they follow back.
A part of that plan, of course, is to induce the gradual surrender of American sovereignty, piece by piece and step by step, to various international organizations, of which the United Nations is the outstanding but far from the only example. Now, here are the aims for the United States. 1, greatly expanded government spending for every conceivable means of getting rid of ever larger sums of American money as wastefully as possible. 2, higher and then much higher taxes. 3, an increasingly unbalanced budget despite the higher taxes. 4, wild inflation of our currency. 5, government controls of prices, wages, and materials, supposedly to combat inflation. 6, greatly increased socialistic controls over every operation of our economy and every activity of our daily lives. This is to be accompanied naturally and automatically by a correspondingly huge increase in the size of our bureaucracy and in both the cost and reach of our domestic government. 7, far more centralization of power in Washington and the practical elimination of our state lines. There is a many-faceted drive at work to have our state lines eventually mean no more within the nation than our county lines do now within the states. 8, the steady advance of federal aid to and control over our educational system, leading to complete federalization of our public education. 9, a constant hammering into the American consciousness of the horror of modern warfare, the beauties and the absolute necessity of peace. Peace always on communist terms, of course. And 10, the consequent willingness of the American people to allow the steps of appeasement by our government, which amount to a piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world.
And check out that link. There's a couple of more videos below where he continues to speak. But here's the thing. Listen, we talked about this. We showed this yesterday. John Kerry and Joe Biden, appeasement to Iran. Barack Obama, appeasement to Iran, appeasement to North Korea, appeasement to China, always appeasement, appeasement, appeasement. That is what the left does. And that's why they're now screaming, Donald Trump's going to wreck it with war. We need to appease, but they don't use the word appease. They use words like, oh, we need to have a discussion, have a sit down, and maybe write a check or two if they're not under sanctions, if they can cash that check. And if they can't cash that check, we'll just send them a couple pallets, however many they need, unmarked currency. That's your Democrat Party. That's what they've done. That's what they did for 8 straight years, and we got to continue to remember this. We cannot forget where we've come from. We cannot forget how far we've come, and we cannot forget what has caused this to happen. We definitely need to focus on or to try and come to some kind of solution for the Department of Education. This thing is just wrought with all kinds of evils and dirtiness, just rotten stuff, to where they're teaching our kids all kinds of evils of the world, whether it be LGBTQ issues in kindergarten and grade school and throughout school, talking about all kinds of different lifestyles and how LGBTQ should be engaging in relationships physically. And no, my kids don't need to know about that. Even if my kids were gay, they don't need to know that stuff. Psychologists say, if you want to, the healthiest child raised is one that maintains their innocence the longest. The longer that we can maintain our child's innocence, the healthier relationships, physical relationships with their husbands or their wives will be much, much healthier than those that are exposed to, I'm thinking of that, the 11-year-old LGBTQ kid, the skinny kid, I believe it might be in San Francisco, somewhere. But the kid is being pranced in the bars and half naked and dancing on the bar tables to gay men. And they're cheering him on, just excited about his, oh man. I feel really bad for that kid because he's going to have to live a lifetime of trying to get his mind right again. That's child abuse. That's total unadulterated child abuse. And again, he was talking about the Department of Education. Thank you, Jimmy Carter, made the Department of Education its own entity so that it could be funded to the tunes of hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And who reaps the reward on the back end? Our children? No, that isn't happening. Unions? Yep, that's happening. Teachers union exploded with all the money coming from. Look at the teachers union leading all the way up until Jimmy Carter went ahead and made it its own entity, and then the teachers union from that day forward till now just completely out of control. All kinds of money coming from the federal government. You send your kid to a private school, your tax dollars still go to that to pay for the Department of Education. This is where Charlie Kirk is, with Turning Points USA, working with and intervening, if you will, with the youth and the kids. And this at our good friend Wyatt at Tombstone Bub. Charlie puts it out there so it's easy for liberals to understand. Hashtag Tornado Trump. Best explanation of the Russia hoax on the internet.
You talked, Charlie, I think it was you that talked a bit about like the Mueller investigation.
Yeah.
I know you said it was like a waste of time, that kind of thing. I don't know. What makes you think it was a waste of time? Because it was about 30 indictments, a couple convictions. What specifically about it was a waste of time to you? Okay. You know, criminals were exposed.
No heckling, no
heckling. A court determined that criminals were exposed.
So do you know what was the basis of the original Russia intelligence investigation in the FBI?
Right. So from what I understand, my understanding was that the investigation was opened up to basically understand all the different ways that the Russian Federation has colluded with the US
What was the piece
elections.
of intelligence that began the surveillance or the spying, whatever you want to call it, of the Trump campaign?
No idea.
Okay,
but,
so
yeah.
it was a dossier
Right.
that was funded by the Democrat National Committee and the Hillary Clinton campaign, constructed by an opposition research firm called Fusion GPS. The dossier has been disproven and debunked to have so many inaccuracies and misleading facts and information. So that was put in front of a FISA judge. For those of you that don't know what a FISA judge is, that is giving permission for the United States government to surveil its own citizens. Now, there were 3 members of the Trump campaign that were former individuals at highest level of national security: Chris Christie, Rudy Giuliani, and Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. If the FBI was actually worried about Russia interference, they could have approached Chris Christie, who was a U.S. attorney, Mayor Giuliani, who was a former U.S. attorney, or Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who held the highest level of security clearance at the highest level of the military, saying, hey, we're worried about Russia interference in your election, we're worried about this Manafort guy. They never did that. Instead, they illegally surveilled and spied on the Trump campaign. So fast forward to April or May, where the actual Mueller investigation began. Andrew McCabe said it himself that his own internal workings towards getting eventual triggering of the Mueller investigation was based on the phony intelligence of Fusion GPS and based on this investigation. But you said 30 indictments. Let's break this down. Who is indicted? Paul Manafort is going to prison, not for Russia interference, my friend.
For tax fraud, yeah.
Right, tax fraud, wire fraud, and unregistered foreign lobbying for Ukraine, not even for Russia.
That's kind of Ukraine and Russia there. There's a little bit of a
war.
Well, there's a war. The war, yes, but keep in mind, yeah. I mean, saying that it's not as a fair point. I think not to say that there isn't a connection.
I can see where you're coming from there. Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of cross nationality.
It's really tough to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the second major indictment was George Papadopoulos, who lied under oath to the FBI. No Russian interference, no Russian connection. Okay. Also, the third, which is the most famous, is Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who, again, is indicted for a process crime and was indicted not for Russian collusion, but for not filling out his paperwork properly for the incoming president to become National Security Council advisor for unregistered foreign lobbying for the Turkish government. Okay? The fourth person who was indicted was the former attorney to the president, Michael Cohen, who we have on the record now lying at least 15 times to Congress under two separate testimonies. Now, he was not indicted for Russian collusion. He was not indicted for interference. He was indicted for taxi medallion fraud, tax fraud, and wire fraud. Now, those are the four Americans so far. There might be more. There probably won't be. Actually, the fifth. I'm sorry. There was a fifth. Obama's White House counsel was just recently indicted.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm sorry. In the last week, for unregistered foreign lobbying, taking a $4 million wire transfer that was laundered through Cyprus for, again, with Paul Manafort essentially being the lawyer on file. His criminal trial is still pending. He has pleaded innocent. Those are the five major Americans. Now, you said 30 indictments. The rest of them are foreign Russian citizens that we could indict the entire country of Russia for essentially colluding against America, because every day the whole country is registered as a foreign adversary. So we just picked 25 people that were running Russian troll farms. Now, the five things that I told you could have been done with just telling the Department of Justice to do their job.
Yeah.
Bob Mueller was not needed for $30 million creating a public assassination campaign against a president that was originally based on faulty intelligence. And so, I think you and I can agree they're doing that for 2 years and exacerbating this Russian narrative where Congressman Adam Schiff, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, now said there has yet to be released evidence that is material of Russian collusion against the Trump campaign. We're still waiting for what that is. There were 1,800 articles amongst the four major newspapers in America: USA Today, the Washington Post, the LA Times, and the New York Times. 1,800 articles alluding or directly connecting Donald Trump and the Trump campaign to committing treason with a foreign adversary. You got to ask the question, was it really necessary to hijack our whole public narrative for 2 years using $30 million of U.S. taxpayer to go after five people, none of which committed Russian collusion at all, instead had their own personal crimes that they committed? I believe it was a public assassination campaign that we paid for that now Donald Trump has rose up against and has triumphed over.
A couple quick takeaways from that. John McCain was warned by George Bush's FBI that, the head of your campaign is colluding with Paul Manafort. There's a Russian connection there. You better distance yourself. That's right, folks. For those of you who listen to Show Off, and we told you as soon as we knew this. Breaking, if you didn't know, the FBI approached John McCain running against Barack Obama and informed him that his head of his campaign is colluding with Paul Manafort. You've got to cut him off. They've got Russian ties, and you need to stay away from that. Just giving you a heads up. Imagine if the FBI, imagine James Comey approached Trump. during the 2015-2016 campaign, James Comey made an appointment, set it up, approached Trump, and said, hey, Trump, just want to give you a heads up, man. Couple of your guys in your camp, Paul Manafort, yeah, that's not a good one. He's got Russian connections, Russian ties, which we now find out he had Ukrainian ties. It's absolute truth. Had Ukrainian ties. The head of their intelligence in there in the Ukraine on audio tape saying that he's working to help Hillary Clinton win and will find the dirt on Paul Manafort in order to trash Trump and help Hillary win. Yeah, that audio was offered to Mueller. Didn't want it. Didn't think it was necessary. Official coup d'etat, as we see trending all morning. Impeachment inquiry now. This because Donald Trump told McGahn, don't testify. There's no reason for it. And as you see, there is no reason to testify. At Byron York on McGahn. Look at Myers Rove situation with Bush, Obama, 07, 09. White House has resisted, setting precedent of top aides testifying. Agreement was reached. Myers Rove would talk, but topics lightly limited, plus no questions about conversations with presidents. Lo and behold, this over at the New York Times from March 4th, 2009. Top Bush aide to testify and attorneys firing. So there you have it. Precedent already set. There's no there. We know that there's no there. We just showed you. Charlie Kirk just explained in 5 minutes the entire thing of Spygate in 5 minutes, all wrapped up. This at SY_CRUX. Obama invoked executive privilege and used same verbiage as Trump. I don't remember hashtag impeachment inquiry now back then. Obama defied Congress subpoenas. David Sims, Mary Kendall, Solyndra, Holder, and Fast and Furious, Ken Melson, Project Gunrunner, to name a few. We'll say this, Hillary Clinton did testify on Benghazi. What the hell, where do we get with that? And why nobody was prosecuted from that one? Who gave the stand-down order? We know we can speculate who gave the stand-down order. It could have only come from the highest parts, Barack Obama. Again, just reminding everybody, just a reminder of where we came from and how great things have become under Donald Trump. So if you're new to the show, this is what we do here. We expose all the deep state dirt, show you the politicians that are involved, explain to you what happened in the past, and then deliver to you what is happening right now and the great politicians to follow and to vote for in the upcoming elections. And Donald Trump just absolutely making a huge difference in America with a license we've never seen before. We have never seen a politician make strides like Donald Trump is making. At Catmandu 50, hashtag impeachment inquiry now is trending. Yep. Can't wait for those Dems and rhinos to get their orange suits. Couldn't agree with you more. I did a poll on Twitter and I said, who do you think's going to fall first? Comey or Brennan or Clapper? Overwhelmingly, people voted Comey. I do think that Clapper is the main character behind the whole thing. Jim Jordan, who has reviewed information, and Trey Gowdy, who's seen these documents, say that Comey may have a better case than Brennan. So we'll see how that falls apart. And Politico putting this up, and real news. I follow Politico, so you don't have to. Fake news right here, but they put up a videotape and maybe reporting of honest journalism here.
I think we've been the most transparent administration in the history of our country. We just went through 2 years of Bob Mueller with 18 people that hated Donald Trump. They were angry Democrats, as I call them. We've been through it for 2 years. They spent almost $40 million on it. We had, I think, 500 people testified. We had 1.4 or 1.5 million documents. At the end of all of that, he said there's no collusion. Now what happens is the Democrats want to redo, and we've had enough, and the country's had enough. There has never been, ever before, an administration that's been so open and transparent. So we want to get on. What we want to do is get on with running the country.
That's what I'm talking about, Donald Trump. America has had enough. It's time to prosecute and move the heck on. And we got Representative Doug Collins in the news twice back to man. This guy's really making some headwaves. Thank you so much, Representative Collins. And Politico posted this one up too. Some more news. And Collins is actually talking about Nadler, who is sitting right next to him. How awkward.
Mr. Chairman, and thank you for all that have gathered here again. Here we go again. The theater is open and the summations are coming in. In fact, right now we're again running over the norms of congressional oversight. We're dabbing at the edges of rubbing roughshod on the Constitution, asking for things that we don't. But I am glad about one thing. I'm glad that the chairman read into the record today the Mueller report. I'm glad that he quoted, as he said, this is a quote directly from the Mueller report. I just wish my chairman would actually go read the rest of it that he has been offered to read, which he has chose not to read. But he did leave out one thing. He left out something in the Mueller report from just now. He read McGahn's testimony beautifully, did everything right, but he left out what he doesn't want to have to come back to, and the frustrating thing that has brought us here again and again and again, and that is the conclusions. There was no collusion. There was no obstruction charge. There's nothing here.
Man, you guys in Georgia, you got yourself a good representative in the 9th District. Fantastic, Doug. Speaking truth to power, I'm absolutely excited that there are representatives out there that will stand up for truth and honesty. Pelosi clashes with fellow Dems in closed-door debate on impeachment. House Democrat leaders sparred internally on Monday over whether to begin an impeachment inquiry against President Donald Trump. The Speaker, Pelosi, and her allies rejecting the call to move forward for now, according to multiple sources. Keep at it, Democrats. Your fundraising is down. Your unity is division. You've got Rashida Tlaib. You've got Omar. You got all these AOC and everything going on. You can't even get your party together. Yeah, I think going after Russia is priority number one. Going after impeachment, priority number one. You guys take your eye off the prize. I'm just saying, but keep doing what you're doing because I'm cool with that. No big deal. Let's hurry up and get through this election 2020 states issues. And we've got ATX_Patriot. It's all up to us to fix the biggest problem in our country, our dysfunctional Congress. 468 seats in the House, 35 in the Senate, 435 House seats. Will be a shame on us if we don't vote the crap out. And this at Holly M.O., Josh Hawley out there in Missouri, talking about my maiden speech with Fox and Friends.
It's a big day for you as a new senator. You had your first floor speech, and essentially you were calling on Republicans to revitalize the great American middle and beware of cultural elites, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, listen, the establishment, Steve, in this country has focused on themselves for way too long. They haven't listened to working people. They haven't been focused on the middle class. You've got big pharma raising prices. You've got big tech getting rich. And you've got big government helping them. And that has got to change.
That's kind of a Trumpian message you've got there.
Well, listen, I mean, the president got elected for a reason. He got elected because he actually listened to the needs of the great American middle, the great middle of our society. That's where I come from. I come from the middle of the country. And people out there want somebody to listen to them. And D.C. and the rest of the establishment need to start paying attention.
All right. Josh Hawley, the freshman senator from the great state of Missouri. Sir, thank you very much for joining us live.
That's the kind of representative we need as well. Doug and Josh, as we move out to California at Kara MAR 111, the Stormy bot. Exactly, Kiga. This is from my local gun store. It is also for a 10-day hold on all ammo purchases and new background checks every single time we buy ammunition, which we pay for at $30 a pop. It's disgusting. Yeah, there's a countdown clock. Ammogeddon, countdown to California ammo registration. 42 days, and in California, you got to register your ammunition. What? And Donald Trump calling out who to vote for in the next upcoming elections at GOP. Vote Fred Keller for PA 12.
But we have a man who's a special man. He's a successful businessman and owner. He believes in protecting the border, defending our Second Amendment. He's not letting anything happen to your Second Amendment. And you know what? If we aren't smart, it'll end for you with the Second Amendment. It'll end for you on so many other things. Your taxes will go up. You know, they're talking about 75%, right? You know what we have it down to? And we got the business tax down to 21% from essentially over 40%. Fred Keller is a tough man. He's tough on crime. He loves our military. He loves our police. He loves our vets. And he will always protect patience.
And this is who not to vote for. Bill de Blasio at CHIZ MAGA. Bill de Blasio gets owned by elderly woman.
Why did you protest against our country in Germany? That's the real question. That's the real question. The question is not about trees. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see 5 years. I want to know why you let your police officers down and our country down by going to Germany and protesting against our country. I want to know why you're doing that. Okay? I don't care about the trees. We'll work it out. Find $18 million to put in your cops' pockets. Okay? And pay your police officers. And stop spending it on money to go protest against our country. Sure.
And she's pointed to a camera to give her view to the local news. Now, these people don't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning, but at least we know who they are. At least you can tell other people if they're voting for Christian Gillibrand or Bill de Blasio, you can explain to them how wrong of a choice that would be. And this at USCG_proud. I wonder if we citizens broke the law, would we be given a lawyer as illegals would be? I highly doubt it.
You oppose even what the Obama administration did in terms of keeping families together or keeping them together for a longer period of time in detention?
I wouldn't, as president of the United States, I wouldn't use the detention system at all.
Homeland Security, though, is saying hundreds of thousands of people are crossing the border, and they need to go somewhere before their asylum claims are actually heard. What would you do with them?
They don't need to be incarcerated. They can, if they're given a lawyer and given a process, they will follow it.
What the hell? When has that ever worked out? Total, absolute insanity. We know it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out now. And our good friend at Cat the Hammer, Cat with a K, some reasons why we need the wall more than ever. More than 43% of food stamps are given to illegals. 95% of warrants for murder in Los Angeles are issued to illegals. Less than 2% of illegals are picking crops, but 41% are on welfare, 1 of 8. More than 66% of all births in California is to illegals, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, paid by taxpayers. Nearly 60% of the occupants of HUD properties in the U.S. are illegals. More than 39% of California student grades 1 through 12 are illegals, 2 of 8. All right, so we'll go ahead, hit the like on all of these, folks. These are the people to follow. Hit the retweets. That's why we got to keep Donald Trump in office. That's why we got to vote Donald Trump. And that's why we got to work hard at this, folks. Again, check the description below. Hit the link. Go over to the show notes. Get all 3 pages of show notes. All the politicians that you need to be plugged into, the ones that are doing a great job, the ones that are failing us, we got to point them out. We got to point out why they're failing us, how they're failing us, using their words and their own actions. Again, Donald Trump having an incredible rally in Pennsylvania last night. Here's some more great pictures and things to get excited about. This at heavy.com. How many attended Trump's Pennsylvania rally versus Biden? There's the Trump rally, cars and thousands of people. There's another view from inside what looks like to be a big hangar. Thousands of people. And I was talking about this before, folks. You got to stay hydrated out there. Absolutely stay hydrated. Folks, you got to stay hydrated when you're out there at the Trump rally. Medical problems and issues arise with the heat.
We need a doctor, please. A doctor, please. Do we have a doctor? Doctor in the house, please. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Take your time. Some of these people in the front row, they've been here for 2 days, and I don't blame them, right? I don't blame them. They've been waiting in line for 2 days. It's tough.
This posted up by the Washington Post. Donald Trump calling out Joe Biden.
And don't forget, Biden deserted you. He's not from Pennsylvania. I guess he was born here, but he left you, folks. He left you for another state. Remember that, please. I meant to say that. This guy talks about, I know Scranton. I know that. Well, I know the place is better. He left you for another state, and he didn't take care of you because he didn't take care of your jobs. He let other countries come in and rip off America. That doesn't happen anymore because we're going to make America wealthy again.
This at John McGeever 70, jaw-dropping dishonesty. Joe Biden takes credit for Trump's record economy. In 2018, Kevin Hassett, chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, destroyed the lies Dems will push about the Trump economic miracle. Here are the facts. This by thegatewaypundit.com. And at Steven Speaks Up, at POTUS, asks the same questions I've been asking for months now. What's going on with Fox? Judge Jeanine Pirro's show bumped from Fox from prime time. Fox News demanding that Hannity stop calling Sarah Carter an investigative reporter. They fell into MSM ditch. This at CC Chat. All 20 Democrats combined can never catch up to President Donald Trump. At LRI Hendry. These are two great patriots that you must follow. This at Rhonda Hurley 2. At Speaker Pelosi is the only person standing in the way of our adding nearly 200,000 new jobs. Contact Nancy Pelosi and let others know how you feel. Speaker.gov/contact. Congress, do your job. And that's what we do here, folks, exposing the real news, showing you the fake news and vice versa, exposing the fake news, showing you the real news and making sense of it, just really, and exposing the politicians for who they are. That's what we do on this show, bring you real time what politicians are saying on social media because the mainstream media is not going to show the gaffes of the people that they support. We support the truth. And getting out the truth. You saw a couple great Republicans from Missouri and from Georgia speaking truth to power. Some new folks out there that have just been newly elected, freshmen that need to be reelected and stay in Congress to help make America great again. Donald Trump and our agenda of America first, keeping America great again. This is the new lifeblood of the Republican Party. I couldn't be more thrilled to see great minds coming up, but we've got to keep at it. We've got to stay at it. Again, folks, you're watching New Right Network, original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Crush to share, crush to like, tell your friends and family about it. And for those of you who stayed through the whole show, I got some breaking news, too. I was just asked to host a show of a dear friend of ours when he's out of town. So you guys might see me on the Wayne Dupree show when he's out of town. But tonight, I will be on Wayne Dupree show, so jump over right now from here. Go over to Wayne Dupree, at Wayne Dupree Show on Twitter. Check it out. Also on New Right Network on the Facebooks. Put a link in the description below. I'll be on Wayne Dupree Show tonight. Peace out.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.